Hi everyone, welcome back to English Fab, where learning English is practical, useful, and fab. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects all of us, inflation. Many learners find it difficult to talk about money-related issues like rising prices, economic slowdowns, or confusing terms like tariffs and recession. It can be hard to express how these things impact our lives, especially in another language. In this lesson, we'll walk through a natural conversation that explains how inflation affects everyday life. You'll learn key phrases, useful vocabulary, and practical tips to help you talk about money, the economy, and current events clearly and confidently. If you find English difficult, don't worry. You can translate the subtitles into English and your own language like this. Check the description below for extra details. Are you ready? Let's get started. Have you noticed how much more expensive groceries have gotten lately?
Yes. I bought the same basket of items I usually get, and it was nearly 20% more. That's inflation in action.
Exactly. Prices are rising across the board. I read it's because of a mix of supply chain issues and higher demand.
Yeah, and energy prices are playing a big role too. When fuel costs go up, it affects everything from transportation to food.
Right. I also saw something about tariffs making imported goods more expensive. That adds to inflation too.
Definitely. Tariffs can act like a tax on imports, so companies pass that extra cost onto consumers.
It's frustrating because our salaries haven't gone up at the same rate.
That's one of the worst parts. When inflation outpaces wage growth, people feel like they're falling behind.
I heard some experts say we might be heading into a recession. Do you think that's possible?
It could be. If inflation keeps rising and central banks raise interest rates too aggressively, it might slow the economy too much.
So basically, they're trying to reduce inflation by making borrowing more expensive.
Exactly. Higher interest rates can slow down spending and investment, which helps cool off inflation. But it can also hurt growth.
It's a tricky balance. I guess that's why central banks have such a hard job.
Totally. And if businesses start cutting back and laying off workers, that could trigger a recession.
It's kind of a vicious cycle, isn't it? Higher costs, slower spending, job losses.
Yep. And consumer confidence drops when people feel uncertain, which just makes the economy even slower.
I've started cutting back on eating out and shopping. Have you made any changes?
For sure. I've been sticking to essentials and trying to save more, just in case things get worse.
Smart move. I'm also thinking about how this affects investments, like what happens to the stock market during inflation and recession.
Usually, stocks get more volatile, and certain sectors, like tech, can be hit harder. Safe assets like gold or bonds often become more attractive.
Makes sense. I guess the best thing is to stay informed and be financially cautious.
Agreed. Understanding how inflation, tariffs, and recession interact helps us make better choices, even with everyday spending.
And that's it for today's lesson on this topic. We explored how to talk about inflation, tariffs, and recession in natural English conversations. Let's quickly review what we covered today. What we talked about. We discussed what inflation is and how it affects everyday life. We talked about the connection between tariffs, prices, and the global economy. We explored how to express concerns about a possible recession in casual and formal settings. Key phrases. Have you noticed how much more expensive groceries have gotten lately? Prices are rising across the board. It's frustrating because our salaries haven't gone up at the same rate. When inflation outpaces wage growth, people feel like they're falling behind. Tariffs can act like a tax on imports. Companies pass that extra cost on to consumers. I've started cutting back on eating out and shopping. Understanding these phrases will help you speak clearly about real-world topics that matter. Talking about money and the economy can feel overwhelming. But with the right vocabulary, you'll feel more confident expressing your thoughts in English. Keep practicing these phrases in your daily conversations, especially when talking about news, shopping, or budgeting. Okay, thanks for watching today's lesson on English Fab. I hope you found these English tips useful and feel more confident. Remember, practice makes perfect, so try using these phrases in your daily conversations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more Fab English lessons. Until next time, keep practicing and stay Fab.